as I said, before that, national education policy, they're always, thinking about that, how to systematic our system has to be. And assessment means it's a systematic process by which we assess the performance of our students through tests. Okay, there are lots of ups and downs regarding with this assessment, and then the system of education. So for 15 years we study 3 years of kindergartens, and then primary, and then for 15 years, and then at the end of the after 15 years, our whole life, a student's life, depends how to appear there for that 3 hours of maths exam, or this physics exam, or this, and they spend lakhs of rupees, and then if we appear, if we failing that 3 hours of examination, then our life is gone for 6. So there are we have to think other ways of assessment to assess the students. Now, one of the things is that there is this assessment of, we call it rubric assessment. It is a scoring guide usually presented in graphic format, typically as a grid. It defines what is expected in a learning situation. Some type of assessment is subjective. For example, think about the painting in an art class, or for example, debate competition, or for example, dance competition. So there are various. How would you assign a percentage or grade to an art project? You need some kind of standard or some sorts of measure for this kind of alternative assessment. So there are two types of assessment, rubric assessment. One is the analytical, and the other one is holistic. Now, in analytical assessment, it grades students' work on each component of a project, while in holistic, it grades the students' work on a whole project. You might for example, we all are familiar with kind of holistic this assessment. And for example, in left column, we have the categories. It is, for example, excellent means 90% to 100, and then right column there is description, which for example, in if we talk about an exam, an English exam. So if it is for example 90 to 100%, means that ideas are thoroughly explained and highly coherent this thing writing, and almost no grammatical mistake. Then we come down to good this thing, which is about 80 to 89%, where in description teachers write that okay, the ideas are explained, coherent writing, few grammatical mistakes. Then we come to satisfactory, then we come needs hard work. While in analytical assessment, the categories are different. Categories are for example, clarity of subjects, and then content, subject knowledge, teamwork, depth of discussion, methods used, organization, and so many other categories are also involved. And then the other, for description, we have, for example, beginning, development, and then accomplish, and this exemplary. These are, needs to be, discussed more. But, the other point, it is about, students' self-assessment. Schools, they have to introduce new ways to assess the students and to report to parents on child's learning. This change is one of the ways to introduce a school curriculum.
Right.
What is the student self-assessment? Actually, students, they have to take the ownership of their learning. And once they take the ownership of their learning, then sky is the limit. So it is, self-assessment is a process of which students look at their work and check and see where the focus their efforts more. They have to focus their efforts and make improvement. And it is often involves setting the goals at the beginning of the school year and checking with the teacher to make sure that they are meeting their goals. It is actually a skill and very important that they have to learn at a very young age. It helps them also to identify their strength and where they need to make improvement and adjustment. It also helps them to organize and bring more confidence and achieve their goals and this thing. So this is collaboration between the students, teachers, and parents.